you nuts? What kind of people really irritated you? What kind of people irritate? I just throw some out at me. But what kind of people really irritate you? Well, you may name specific people. Perhaps you don't want to name a specific person in a crowd this big. But what kind of? Well, they're this kind of person, and it drives me nuts. Anybody? Nobody.
Whiners.
Hypocrites, right?
Extremely organized people.
Extremely organized people. Thank you, my brother. A clean desk or a clean garage is a sign of a sick mind. Holier than thou Christians. Know-it-alls. What?
Everybody at one point or another.
Everybody at one point or another. Thank you for the honesty. Appreciate that. I'll tell you, this one lady drove me nuts. She irritated the fire out of me. She still irritates me just thinking about her. I don't even know where she lives, and I have no desire. I hope she doesn't live in Idaho, and I hope she's not here. I used to, as you probably know, I directed a national touring ministry called the Exchange. It was great. We were, I think we were gearing up for another tour, and I was back in the office. And I get this call from this lady that wants to bring us out. She's very excited about bringing us out. And she wants to bring us out to this big evangelistic weekend. It's going to be cool. It's going to be awesome for this week and what have you. And then we're talking about some of the logistics. We have to talk about how much money and that kind of stuff. So we're talking about that. She's like, I don't know if we're going to be able to get the money. We're going to try to get the money and all this kind of stuff. So I'm trying to be empathetic. It's good to be empathetic. Just care, love it on people. And I said, it is really hard sometimes to get churches to give money for youth stuff. Because it's true. Sometimes it's really hard to get churches to give money for youth. For kids. And I'm thinking I'm doing a really nice thing because I'm empathizing with her, and it's true. And she says to me, we've got to stop talking like that big guy. Big guy. Now, she never met me. She didn't know that I'm a little bigger than some other people. And I could only assume that what she was talking about was something of my attitude, where I was trying to be compassionate and empathetic. And she says, big guy. It was good that we were not closer, otherwise I would have taken the phone and beat her with it. And I know it's impolite to beat women, but there are times when it is never appropriate, ever, but in my mind.
I'll pray for you while I hit you, right?
Thank you. I would never hit. I understand the frustration in my mind. I think that there's nothing more annoying than an arrogant person who thinks that they're at a higher place or know more than you. Can I get a yeah? Now imagine with me, you live in a nice house. I'm assuming you live in a nice house, in a nice neighborhood, have nice neighbors around you. You bought a house, you're renting a house, you're renting an apartment, whatever it might be. Well, one of your neighbors puts up a for sale sign. Let's just imagine in your mind, you put up a for sale sign, and somehow in this really dead market that we're in right now, they sell their home. They move out. And pretty soon the U-Haul truck shows up, and they start unloading, and because you're a nice person, you say, I'm going to go over and help them and meet my neighbors. So you wander over next door, and you walk up in the truck, say, hey, I'm Brian, or whatever your name is. You can call yourself Brian, but probably use your own name. And you go in and say, I'll give you a hand. What can I carry? They still give you a stack of boxes, and they don't have a lot of faith. They're not really deeply faith people, so they don't give you the china and the glassware. They give you like the box of blankets. And you carry them in, and you start talking and hanging out with them, and they seem to be all right people, and you're talking. Over in your driveway, you've got a really nice truck that you recently bought. It's a Ford F-350. It's a diesel. It's a manly truck. You like your truck. And it's sitting proudly in the driveway where you've just washed it and waxed it. And then your friend looks over at you and he says, your new neighbor looks over and he says, oh, I see you've got a Ford. You should have got a Chevy. Ford stink. Ha 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 ha. Obviously you're a Chevy guy. Yeah, well, I really like my truck. And you go on. And you help them finish unloading. It's no big deal. It's kind of funny. Job poking fun at each other. Ford, Chevy. It's the eternal debate. Ford, Chevy, Dodge. See? There you go. And the next day you drive up and your neighbor's out doing some stuff in his yard. And you say, how's that Ford? Is it broken down yet today? Fix the repair daily. And you think you're an idiot. But I love you anyway because you're my neighbor. Every time you see see them, they start to make a comment about your vehicle and about how poor it is. But you start to realize something, that every time that they're mocking your truck and they're mocking Ford, you start going, you don't have a truck. How do you know? And then you realize that they actually have a Ford Focus that they keep sliding into the garage and closing quickly so no one will see that they actually have a Ford. And you're thinking, my Ford can run over your Ford. Or do you get off being the shut up! In the name of Jesus. After a time, as they continue to poke at you about your Ford, you keep watching them slide that Focus into the garage and shut the door real quick. At some point, this is going to start to break down your relationship, because there's nothing as irritating as someone who considers themselves to know more and be better than you that is actually at the same level or perhaps worse off than you are.